I'm Cameron LaPlante.
And I'm Zach O'Brien.
And we're here with the BBN Weekly News. This week, we'll hear from Kayla on how social media can affect mental health, Sage with a story on the lack of officials, and Delaney will give us this weekend's weather, as well as a sports update.
Let's go talk to Kayla now to learn more about social media habits and how that can affect high schoolers.
Apps like Snapchat, TikTok, BeReal, and Instagram consume a large amount of any teenager's time. These apps can be amazing tools that help keep people connected and provide a space for communication and even entertainment online.
It's good to keep up with friends and family.
It can help keep me updated with my friends and lets me communicate with them.
The trends. See, this is from TikTok.
Well, I think it makes me happy when I go on TikTok and I see funny videos. I know what's happening in the world and in the school.
I can stay in touch with my friends quite a bit, get updated on what's going on in the world.
However, excessive social media use can be harmful in many ways. I interviewed our school counselor, Mrs. Froelich, to get more information on the harm social media can cause.
Overall, research is showing more and more negative effects, especially with increased anxiety and depression. The more social media platforms a person uses, the more they're reporting higher anxiety and depression. Another big concern is that social media is impacting sleep.
It really affects my sleep schedule.
I don't get a lot of sleep because I'm pretty hooked on my phone.
So it impacts the duration and quality of sleep. Teens need 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and teens are reporting being on social media past midnight, which when you're getting up for school, there's no way you can get all the sleep in that you need.
I usually stay up later when I'm on TikTok, and I just keep on scrolling.
For teenagers who are on social media 3 or more hours a day, their anxiety and depression is much higher. The average time teens are reporting using is 3.5 hours, so that's really alarming.
My daily screen time is 4 hours and 42 minutes. 4 hours.
6 hours.
About 6 hours.
5 hours and 29 minutes.
An hour and 26 minutes.
2 hours and 54 minutes.
5 hours and 38 minutes.
3 hours and 51 minutes.
3 hours and 55 minutes.
3 hours and 12 minutes.
As you can see, SCHS students are no exception to this issue of alarmingly high screen time. I went around our school to find out just how much time SCHS students are spending on their phones, and also to see how much of that time is spent on social media.
My social media screen time is 2 hours and 7 minutes. All of it.
7 hours and 3 minutes.
3 hours and 26 minutes.
Almost all of it. TikTok is the highest, and then Snapchat, and then Instagram.
5 hours of it.
2 hours.
5 hours.
All of it, it's spent on social media.
I think as a society, we're learning that this is a major problem we need to address, but also individually, it's so important to take action now. This summer, the Surgeon General released a statement about social media and the alarming effects. And that public service advisory means we need to be really aware. And he's trying to alert everyone to this. He's calling for tech companies to do more research and policymakers to get involved. I think it's important to consider all this information and set your own limits with the time you use it, the content you take in, who you follow, and really do what's best for your own mental health now.
Mrs. Froelich provided great information on how each one of us can work individually to limit our harmful online habits. It's always important to gather as much information as you can in order to make informed decisions on your own.
I think it's important to learn a little bit about the research being done on how social media affects the brain, and especially for teenagers, because the parts of the brain impacted by social media are parts that are still developing up to age 25. Those areas are involved in impulse control and emotional regulation, so things that really connect back to using social media. Social media also lights up the area of our brain that is rewarding, in a similar way that drugs might, or gambling. So it's important to be aware that, okay, this is addicting and it can have negative effects. Teens really need to gain awareness about okay, after I use Snapchat, I feel terrible, I'm frustrated, I'm comparing myself to others, maybe that's not what I need to do.
I also gave SCHS students a chance to weigh in on how they feel social media is affecting their lives in a negative way.
Some right here, I'm on it too much, so.
I just am on my phone all the time and I don't go spend time with my family.
It distracts me from school and sports it's just a really big distraction for me.
I think it makes me less productive because I would rather go on social media than do my homework.
It can also bring out insecurities that I have and some negative stuff like that.
If you feel like connecting with a friend and you get on social media to do it, maybe sending a text or giving them a call would be a better way to connect. If something makes you feel really good or inspired, you know that's something worth following. Do more that makes you forget to check your phone, really connect, commit to connecting face to face with people, like eating dinner with your family, getting together with friends and doing things that are fun for you. And focus on how much time you're spending connecting in real life and compare that to how much time you're on social media and maybe find a better balance.
Considering all of this information, I think it is obvious that with the help of each other, we should be working to hold ourselves accountable for the time we are spending online. It's important that each one of us decides how to use social media in ways that are as healthy as possible. For BBN, I'm Kalo Heineman.
Thanks, Kalo.
With the new school year now in motion, Sage has a story on how there's a sports official shortage.
High school sports is a big part of most students' life, but sometimes we don't realize what all goes into organizing sporting events. From locating open gyms to finding opponents, there are a lot of moving parts involved. The recent struggle is finding officials to ref these games. I spoke with some SCHS faculty to get their perspective on the topic.
Primarily, I'm just here in Scott City. Most of the time it's just to help out when we need officials because they're pretty hard to come by. And what it really impacts is schedules, how many games you can play, where you're going to play them. Some officials won't travel far enough out to western Kansas, so it makes it so it's really difficult. One, that the number of officials is decreasing, but also the travel that a lot of them aren't willing to do, so it makes it scheduling games really difficult. Fans make it really difficult when they're not willing to cooperate and understand that an official is doing their best. If they make a bad call, they make a bad call. It's not them trying to do anything on purpose. It's just going to be their job, and they're not going to be perfect every time. And the disagreements is fine, but when parents start getting out of line and over the top, it makes officials not want to come back.
And we're having to push different sports to different times. I know there's been a bunch of schools that have played on Thursdays as opposed to Fridays. And there's been a lot of sports that have been pushed to have to play on Saturdays, just like we are this week, due to the lack of officials. It could be a lot of things. Number one is there's a lot of older officials that are retiring. We don't have the numbers to replace them. And then also, just kind of the environment of the game has changed. There's a lot more people that are extremely disrespectful or rude. The thing that a lot of people I feel like don't understand is that we're all humans. We're going to make mistakes, but trying to fix those mistakes. Obviously, a lot of officials, they'll come in and the first time that they officiate, they have a bad experience and they never want to do it again.
Refereeing can be a great opportunity to stay involved with the sports you enjoy. Not only that, but it can be a good source of extra income. SCHS is trying to get students more involved by offering a new officiating class.
It consists of learning the rules and the mechanics of officiating. Obviously, but we're focusing on the sports that have been the hardest hit for officiating. So maybe like volleyball and basketball, and then everybody will get to pick their third sport, what they want to do. I think the big thing is we got to teach younger generations how to officiate and how to take that scrutiny, I guess, and not take it to heart and just, you control the game. So if somebody's getting out of hand, put a stop to it. The really good thing is once you graduate high school, your schedule is kind of your own. So you can pick up a lot of those games and be able to officiate after high school. And having that class and being certified out of high school can really help. But they can take everything that we learn and apply it. We've already had quite a few kids that are in that class, line judging, running books, and even somewhat of officiating games at the junior high level.
It's important to remember that officials are people too, and if it wasn't for their help, we wouldn't be able to play or watch the sports we love. For BBN, I'm Sage Steckline.
And good luck to all of your athletics this week.
Let's take a look at this weekend's weather.
Today it's going to be breezy with a northwest wind from 11 to 16 miles per hour, increasing to 17 to 22 miles per hour in the afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 33 miles per hour with a high of 61 and a low of 32. Tonight there will be frost after 4 a.m., otherwise clear with a low around 32. North wind from 5 to 14 miles per hour becoming west-southwest after midnight. Saturday there are areas of frost before 8 a.m., otherwise sunny with south-southwest wind from 7 to 13 miles per hour. Saturday night is looking to be clear with south wind from 6 to 9 miles per hour, becoming west-southwest after midnight, with a high of 70 and a low of 41. Sunday is sunny with north-northwest wind at 7 miles per hour. Sunday night is clear, with a high of 79 and a low of 43. For BBN, I'm Delaney Hahn.
Thanks, Delaney. Stay cool out there.
Have a good week, SCHS.
For BBN News, I'm Cameron LaPlante.
And I'm Zach O'Brien.